Hi everybody, today is Saturday, January 14th, 2023, and this is episode number 15 of Running with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. I'm Jane.
And I'm Julie. Welcome.
And we hope that if you're the superstitious type that you survived another Friday the 13th without any incidents or anything like wonky happening. We are happy to see all of you. If you are a new visitor, welcome. We're happy to see you. If you like what you see, and we hope that you will, we hope that you will hit the like button and subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when more goodness is coming your way. If you're a returning family member, hello once again. So happy to see you. Thank you for all of your kind comments.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. Yeah.
Very, very nice. And the 13th is my lucky day because 39 years ago, on Friday the 13th, that's when I gave birth to our second child, Catherine. And so yesterday was a real celebratory day and we had a really good time. So, but it's the 14th. And we've got so much to show you.
Action-packed.
So much to share. And so we could get started. Did you have a correction? Being that we're a fact-based video.
Well, yes, Julie. Thank you for asking. So last video, I thought Feliz Navidad was Taco Bell. It's actually Taco John's.
Yeah, we were notified of that.
Yeah, a kind subscriber was like, wait a minute.
A kind subscriber. It was Catherine.
Right.
She's kind.
Julie's Lucky 13 contacted us.
Yeah.
So, Taco John's. I love their like little potato, like tater tots or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, they are good.
Delicious.
Very good.
Love
so,
it.
I don't think there's anything else we have to correct right now. God only knows what's going to happen.
It's early in the video.
So, busy week.
Yeah.
I did take my Christmas tree down.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know, I used to think taking down was so much easier than putting up. I was so wrong.
No, I put on 213 ornaments and I had to have packed away close to 500. Like, what is going on?
2,000 lights on, 6,000 off.
It was like, seriously, where am I going to put all this? Because it's like Jenga in that box. Everything's got to be in its place. And it's the more I accumulate, then we had to go to Menards and get another box. So, but all is good.
And you have all those beautiful fragile glass ornaments.
Yeah.
I mean, I have stuff on my tree from little wooden ornaments I painted. You know, me and my brothers and sister painted when we were kids. Stuff made out of cinnamon sticks and paper from when EB was in, daycare and preschool. Nothing super precious on the tree.
I'll have to share another time because I want to get going with all this goodness. But I'll have to share a little ornament story with you another episode. So if it's June and I'm talking about an ornament story, it's because I was too anxious today to get to all that we have. So did you have any time to stitch?
Why, Julie, thanks for asking. Yes, I did. Yeah, I have some cross-stitch things to share. I have a very exciting finish to share when we get to Hardanger Heaven and some good Hardanger progress. So, yeah, amazingly enough.
My cup clashes with my shirt.
I was going to say, what's in your cup? You had kind of a suspicious look on your face.
I caught a glimpse in the monitor and I'm like, oh, it kind of doesn't look real good with my top, but that's okay. I'll go with it.
Yeah, because the other cups are across the room.
Yeah,
so.
And it's 2023. I'm turning over like a new leaf, so I'm not going to let things like that bother me. So show me what you...
Loosey-goosey Julie.
Show me what you were working on.
All right, will do. Okay, I... had kind of run into a roadblock with a Tisket and Tasket because I think we talked in one of the last videos. I didn't like the way the white fiber was stitching. It's grits, but I did get over it and I pulled it out. So just a reminder, Tisket and Tasket.
Well, and that's kind of a side rail when the color you choose to start with isn't one that
you're not one that I enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did make some good progress. Here's my progress.
You know what I forgot to get down? I forgot to get down our boards.
That's okay. And I have not put this on a scroll rod yet. It probably eventually will be. I was working on a small round hoop. You know, the one that has the little spring in the back that we showed you in a couple of videos. And I really liked it. But I had Julie inspired me / enabled me to buy these Nerge embroidery hoops, and this big one I thought was a good candidate. And I have to tell you, you guys, I really like this hoop. This side kind of slanted is really easy to work on your hands. It holds the fabric
very
super tight.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a struggle getting it in because this is channeled. So it doesn't slide around as easily. So I kind of struggled a little bit. Kind of in the same way I struggle getting my jeans on when they come right after they come out of the dryer. It was kind of a similar experience. But
so did you lay on the bed on your back to put this?
Held my breath. Absolutely jumped up and down.
A little second there.
Yeah, exactly. I was exhausted when I was done. But yeah, so that's my progress.
It's beautiful.
It was a lot of fun to pull it out again. I think
good to see that you gave that a little bit of love.
I had like a little bit of a roadblock. I think it was the week for getting through cross-stitching roadblocks.
Yeah, because she told me after the last video, I think I'm just, you know, really going to dedicate all my time to this, and cross-stitch will just have to wait, which made me a little bit sad, but I'm like, well, if that's the way it is, I understand that, so.
I had a mental block for Come Tarry. You remember, this is Come Tarry by Shepherd's Bush.
Beautiful.
I got down to one of the specialty bands, and it was long stitch flowers. And I did the first one, and I'm like, I'm not all about I just wasn't feeling it. And so when I picked the cross stitch up, and I decided I have to do some cross stitch, I picked Come Tarry up first. And I looked at that row, and I thought, well, you have to eventually do it.
Yeah.
And I started to do it, and I thought, I don't know what my problem was. It's fun.
Yeah.
So I did make some progress.
We can
on Come Tarry.
A little board out, so.
So
just
I finished the row of the long arm or long stitch flowers.
Oh my gosh, way up here.
Yeah.
So the long stitch
and
flowers
then there's
are
some
here.
White herringbone, and then there's a checkerboard, and now I'm at the point where there are 3 rolling hills with a lot of grass that need to be filled in.
You really did make progress.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Just to get past that flower row that was really throwing you for a loop.
Mm-hmm. And
beautiful.
I'm hoping to finish her. My goal is to finish her by the end of February.
Oh.
And get her safely into the drawer of no return.
I don't know about that.
Well, we'll see what happens.
We'll see about that.
And then because I was kind of on a roll, I took out Shepherd's Bush All Is Calm. Again, still horrible.
Little Santa action.
Picture, yep. And I made some decent progress on that too. And I think I was motivated to work on that because, once again,
she put it in a Nerge.
Listen, it's just drum tight.
Yeah.
So this is the progress I've made.
Oh, love it.
Isn't he cute? And I love the sheep. Look at the crown.
I know.
On the sheep.
Last I saw it, there was just the moon without the man face. So you did do some real good progress.
Yeah, and the vine up at the top.
Oh, I didn't even notice
the bird with the long tail.
Oh, love that.
So I heard a rumor today that there's some NFL football on starting about 3:30. So I may fill in the sheep while I'm
footballing.
The Jaguars and
college football?
NFL.
NFL? I don't know much about football other than Tom watches it all the time.
The Kansas City. I don't know. Fact-based? I have no idea.
No.
Then, as if I hadn't broken the bank, so to speak, with the cross stitch, I was going through my stack and trying to rearrange it and have it so it wouldn't be so fragile, where every time I moved in my chair it was going to topple. This was in my way. So this is Cottage Garden Samplings, October 31st.
I'm so glad you went back to that.
And here is my progress. Okay.
Wow.
So this is on 40 count Ancient by Picture This Plus.
Oh, God.
And I hadn't worked on 40 count for probably, it's at least a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up the 40 count and I put on my +4 magnifiers and my needle, and I'm all ready to go. My brain said, hell no. There's no way we're doing this. And I thought, well, that's okay. I'll take off my glasses. I'll trick my brain. I took off my glasses and my brain still said, I don't think so. But I like struggled through it. After about half an hour, it was okay. So I thought, okay, this is fantastic then. Yeah, I like working on 40 count. It's great. I like the way the stitches look. Then my brain said, that's fine. I can see it, but I ain't going to count. So this part right here, I stitched 4 times. The first 3 times, no. The 4th time, okay. So the thing about 40 count is when you frog out your stitches, you can very prominently see the hole that the needle made in the fabric. So here is where...
So did you go in them again? Because you could see them?
No.
Oh, that's
I decided the 4th time I'll stitch it as charted.
I would have just gone, oh, look at these holes are big, and I would have done it again in the same place.
Well, I think that's what happened the 2nd and the 3rd time I stitched it. I went down the same bad path. So here's, you know, the ultimate, like where it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Some of the holes are way over here.
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't even close, you guys.
Wow. Yeah.
I was like, what in the world? Oh, it was just bizarre.
When you stitch, do you look at the pattern and then you go 1, 2, 3, down 2, over 1, 2, 3, down? Do you see the little pattern in your head, kind of like Dora the Explorer 3 times?
Yeah, but I only work one thing ahead. I can't look at the pattern and go, okay, I'm going to go over 4, and then I'm going to go down and go over 3 or whatever. I pick up the pattern, I say, I'm going to go over 4. Oh. Okay, I did 4. Then I take Julie will say to me, are you going to color? Or are you going to stitch?
Well, maybe that's the problem with my counting, because I try to because
I'll put it back here. You know, I color in with a colored pencil. So I'll do, okay, it's 4, and then I'll color in the 4. Then I have to go down, and then I do 2. I'm very, like, methodical and...
I try to be...
Not so meticulous, I guess, you guys.
Smart, think I'm smart. I'm going to do 4 and then I go down 2 and do 2. So then I do 4 and I go down and do 2 down instead of 2 over. Then that's what gets me off.
Well, what I ended up doing for this one, October 31st, and for Tisket a Tasket is there are sections where you're working with like the same 3 colors over and over again. I just thread 3 needles.
Really?
And then, you know, I'll work and then park. Okay. And then I'll find the next color that will help me on my journey and like do it that way and then park.
I don't know. I'm just having a real counting thing myself. And I'm like, you know, like I told you, we were watching some movie and Tom said, do you think that, you know, Russian operative's going to get killed next? I said, I can't count to 3 right now. I can't guess.
Were the Russian operatives having orgasms?
No.
Okay.
But it's like I cannot count to 3, and you're asking me the fate of a Russian operative. I'm like, no. I've just struggled so with counting, and I don't understand why.
Because we've been doing it since we were little.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Like the days of the week. 2 comes after 1 and 3. Yeah. So when you say you had a counting issue, I'm like, yeah. Like, maybe that's your first time?
You're in an odd year.
Yeah, it's an
and
odd
I'm
year.
heading into an odd year.
Yeah. It's, yeah, I'll tell you, the number gods are against us. Back off.
And for those of you, I forgot to mention, for those of you that keep track at home, a Tisket, a Tasket, I'm doing it on 36 count vellum by Picture This Plus.
It's beautiful.
I love their fabric, and I am doing some naughty things in the middle of the night on certain websites.
Yeah.
Because I'll think, I don't have enough fabric.
Well, that's okay. I told her.
And then I look at Picture This Plus because I love their fabric.
I've not been to that website.
And it'll be like, oh, heroic. That looks like it might have a little red, white, and blue in it. Well, I'll just get a small piece.
Yeah,
I'll just get a 12
taste.
by 15 or something. Half a yard later. It's just terrible.
So are you saying we have some wonderful, delightful deliveries to look forward to later on?
Not today.
Not today? Did you not bring that in?
I brought my delightful hand-delivered deliveries.
Okay.
That tie into the big announcement.
Well, yeah, we have an announcement
later
on the
in this
14th.
episode.
Yeah, a little bit later. We got to get through our whips.
Julie, do you have any whaps?
Yes, I do. Thank you for asking. I feel kind of like a broken record. Like when I was working on the Red Deer sampler, you know what I mean? Because I'm addicted.
I don't know how you could put it down. It's one of the reasons I'm kind of afraid to start it. Because it'll be like the cross-stitch version of Sophie.
So for you at home, this is what it looks like.
So beautiful.
Okay, now, just for you, no one else, but just for you, I took it off its side braces.
You released it from the bondage of the side braces.
And this is, because you really have to see that top row. Am I okay? You help me, because I now blocked our monitor.
Oh.
So.
Unbelievable.
This middle thing right here, oh my Lord.
That's a lot of stitches.
It's a row and then a row. I'm spiraling it with each color because each row is a different color.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did
gorgeous.
The flower pots and I did 3 down each side because I now am at the halfway mark.
And you know what? The Red Deer, there's nothing Bullwinkly about him.
Not now. No.
He is gorgeous.
He really is.
Majestic and that graceful arch of the neck. Oh.
But you know.
Stunning.
I'm going to just make a comment because I am new to stitching with one thread.
Mm-hmm.
I told Jean the other day, I really wonder if, I'm doing it in the called for fibers on the called for fabric. And it's Weeks. And I love Weeks Dye Works. Is it Weeks Dye Works?
I think so.
Yeah. No, the fabric is Weeks. The fibers are Gentle Arts. Be them Weeks or Gentle Arts in general, I'm wondering if that really was created to stitch with one strand. I'm really struggling, not really struggling, but I'm very aware of with stitching with one thread that one thread separates to 2. Have you had that happen?
Yeah, I haven't had it happen with the cotton so much, but I've had it happen with the silk. Yeah, like it loses its twist.
Yeah.
And multiplies into multiple.
So now, this was supposed to be, had I read the instructions, on 35 count, 2 stitch with 2 strands over 2 fabric threads. I jumped on I'm doing 1 strand. As much as I'm enjoying 1 strand, I can't believe I'm saying that. And it has kind of swayed me when I want to go start something new. I'm like, maybe I want to do it just struggle. The 36 with 1, it's horrible. Who am I?
On the way to the dark side.
I mean, it is nice, but then I'm like, this is separating, and I don't like that as much. So, and I don't think the variegation is as strong as if you were to have 2 strands or 3 strands. It's not as noticeable. So it's just a new learning thing for me. And I'm finding that I like it, but I'm not going to say I'm a total 1-strand gal.
You're not a total convert yet.
No.
You're still on the fence.
No. Well, and that brings us to something else. Okay, I decided that for this year, I'm really going to venture out and just kind of like start some different things. So, I came over here to visit Jane last week.
Stitching day.
Stitching night. Yep, that was fun. I brought over a pizza, and we were actually going to stitch, not gab. And half the time we were sitting there with our stitching on our lap, and it's 3 hours later, and neither one of us had picked up the needle. So we said, needles up. We're going to do this.
Needles up, feet up. Let's go.
Yep. So I thought, I'm going to do this because I'm just all of a sudden just really hankering to do a bunch of drums. You know, my wall space is gone.
Bum, bum, bum.
So this called for 32 count fawn linen. Well, I don't have 32 count fawn linen. But I thought I'll do it on pink. Didn't work. I'll pull some lavender. Didn't like that. So I guess that's why they did it on fawn linen. So I pulled out something neutral. And I started it over here in the middle. And I told Jane, oh, also again, I don't have Classic Color Works. And I thought, I'm not going to purchase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for this little thing.
I probably could have shopped in my
I could have,
Classic Color Work bin.
But I thought they have a DMC conversion, so I'll do those. So here is the colors. And I said, Jane, these two are almost identical. And I'm like,
yeah, really close.
I'm sure they're at different ends. They weren't. So what happened was, long story short, the chimney was supposed to be a color pink that turned out to be almost the same color pink as the puffy cloud of heart smoke was. And I said, I don't like this. Now maybe the Color Classics was a different shade than the DMC. I don't know, but I'm like, I'm not liking this. And I'm like, I'm being a poop and I don't want to stitch this. And I'm not at home where I can go because I would be inclined to have a gray roof, not a greenish roof.
And God knows there's nothing in this room that you could have looked at.
But I wanted to come here to stitch. I did not want to come here to redesign.
To pip?
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. And so I'm like, now I'm a loser. And yeah, I told Jane, now I'm going to have to, which hand?
Your right hand.
My right hand is, I'm like, now I'm like you. I can't.
Let's do it together.
Yeah. Okay. So I said, I can't say this on the video because I don't want to be a loser. I mean, if you want to be a loser, that's fine. I don't want to be. And she goes, you are not the only one who has done this.
No.
So I hope I'm not the only one that had my heart set on starting something and then I'm, you know, like 60 stitches into it. I didn't even really give it a fair shake. But for right now, I'm just going to put this on hold. Maybe I'll get a gray for the roof. Maybe I'll look into her Color Works and see if it really was that close.
They're right there.
Oh.
You can feel them.
Yeah, I can. So I just was sitting there. So I had another piece of pizza and I pouted. I'm like, this just really sucks. Now, what am I going to stitch on? Well, I brought 3 more things. So I thought, well, I picked up 3 things to bring over. So I decided,
just in case.
Yeah, not that I was anticipating a debacle like that. No. I just didn't know what mood I'd be in after we had pizza. Well, obviously it wasn't that one. So I went to start this flower pot roll-up by Latte. And that is on Confederate Gray Linen by Weeks Dye Works, which, again, I didn't have that. So I decided to stitch it on. Ooh, left the pattern at home. This is like it is 32 count, like a country
like a latte
vintage latte mocha, choose your drink. It's one of those things. Yeah. So, and then this pattern also gave you 3 different conversions. They gave you, let me see, got it? Mm-hmm. They gave you, just trust me, they gave you 3 different conversions. I can't find it. I'm on the struggle bus again today. They gave you needlepoint silks, which I don't have. And then an alternate DMC key and a fall DMC key. So I love the fall colors, so I chose the fall tone colors, which I thought were really rich.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Yeah. And black, of course, I love to stitch with black. So I got a pretty good start and only had to rip out a couple of times because we were chatting and counting wasn't something I was paying attention to.
Every once in a while, one of us would say to the other, shh, I'm counting. And then it would be, we'd be like, okay. And then it would be like, oh, I have to count again.
I know.
Just one more time.
When you have to count to 27.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of
numbers. When you get in the double digits.
Yeah. Yeah. And then after a while, my brain goes somewhere else, and I'm like, what number was I supposed to count to? So I'd have to recount it on the chart. Yeah, it's been a real brain fog for counting. But I'm excited to do the finishing on this. When I get a little bit more stitched, I'm going to go to a fabric store, quilt store, something, and pull out some fun fabric for the inside. And it's a stitch in hand, so I like that.
Yeah.
So, so I did that. That's in my whips. But I also did something that still is a work in progress. Now, I did number 1 for the 12 days of Christmas. I still struggle with getting that straight. 12 days of Christmas. I'm mounting and stretching these. So it's still a work in progress to get, right?
Or
so
it could be a it's not a
it could be a fip. That's a light F.
Wow.
So what I did now, Julie, I'm going to stretch mount number 2, turtle doves, right? And then 3 French hens. Oh no, I went to 6. I thought, I'm going to do them out of order. I know, Jane. I'm like, I pulled out.
Wait a minute. What's happening right now?
I was being silly to my own self because, I'm alone. I'm alone with myself quite a bit. So I said to myself, I think I'm going to do number 6 next, just to be wild, And so I was sitting there with my stack of foam core and my stack. I said, Tom, pick a number between 1 and 12. And he's like, 6. And I go, that's what I picked. So that's what I had to do. So I stretched 6. Then I reached in the bag and I just pulled out one because I was kind of in the mood. My hand was cooperating. And I did. Oh, I did 3. Oh, 3 chickens,
Holy
so yeah,
Hannah.
this is going to be a year because I am not going to, that is an even number. Oh, an even number and an odd number. Because Tom goes, well, now you're just going to do another even number. What? Oh my gosh.
And how old I'm going to be.
You're going to be a goosey chicken this year. You're going to be 63. Well,
yeah.
You'll make it.
We'll be the same age for 2 months.
Yeah. And then I get to go to the even year. But I thought, wow, look at that. An even and an odd number. That just about broke me, but I did it.
Wait a minute. So does that mean we're ordering very spicy, like Indian food for lunch?
Oh, gosh. No.
Oh. You're not that, like, wild.
No, I've never had Indian
Spicy
food.
chicken sandwich from Wendy's.
Do you have Tums?
I'm sure Mick has some in the linen closet.
With a milk chaser.
Yes. If we really wanted to get crazy, we could make it chocolate milk.
Oh, ew. No, I don't think so.
Oh, man.
So yeah, those are my whips. And I've been on a buying binge, which I'm like, why am I doing this? Oh, because it's fun. And so I thought, I'm gonna pip up some stuff. And I got some delightful deliveries.
Easy for you to say.
Yep. And so, yeah, cool. So now what do we do?
Do you want to talk about the big announcement, or do you want to go to Hardanger Heaven for a minute?
Well, let's do the announcement.
Okay.
And I have no idea how we're gonna do this. We're gonna just talk all over each other, but
get ready, y'all. Y'all, get ready.
It's not that big of a deal.
It is a big deal.
It's fun. Okay, so how are we gonna in episode 8? If you'll remember, for those of you who have watched episode 8, if not, go back.
It was great and kind of long.
Yeah. Jane had announced that she had a life-changing tip. Would you like to share that with the class?
Yes. For those of you that missed episode 8 or need a reminder, the life-changing tip is you have a much greater chance of success of threading a needle if you actually try to thread the end of the needle that has the eye in it.
Remarkable.
You're welcome.
You're remarkable. I just thought that was so funny because have we not all struggled with like...
I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it like... Oh.
Well, and I'm also using a smaller needle when you're working with one, and you're like, where is the hole in the needle?
I'm using 28 count for needles for everything except Hardanger now.
So, when I can't sleep and my mind just goes and churns because that's just how I operate, I thought, I have a lot of heart problems, so I'm like, So... You want to show and read the card?
Sure. Card, life-changing tip number 1. Running with scissors, stitching with Jane and Julie. That's us.
Yeah, that's us.
After failed attempts to thread the needle, when trimmed ends and licking won't do, rotate the needle end for end and slide the fiber through.
So that's our little tip card. Comes with a little needle, and that will be placed in...
the inaugural Running with Scissors project bag. Ta-da!
I just thought that would be, now all over the place they have the heartbeat. They have the heartbeat with the heart. They have the heartbeat with the stethoscope. They do have a heartbeat with...
ribeye steak.
So I was thinking, here's Jane trying to thread the needle. And then once it goes through... She's got smooth X's all the way. So the collaboration comes in.
And she only put 4 on there because she knows that's as high as I can count.
Or me.
Without having to whip out my highlighter. Oh my gosh.
So the collaboration is, of course, with my friend. My daughter.
Julie's lucky 13.
Sorry about that, Catherine. She started a little side business called I Got You. So
we'll put the her Instagram account in
with her
description box.
She was Bella was all into dance and all of this, and she made signs for the football team for the graduating seniors. You need a sign, I got you. It's really cute. You need party favors or, in special anythings, I got you. So she does custom stuff. So I said, hey, can you do this for me? And she said, yeah. And she was real good at, I said, I need the needle tipped a little more or this or that. And then she also, available, this is what it looks like in a
window decal for your car.
Yep. Or any, she said,
or you can put it on a mirror.
Yep. Any smooth, non-porous, item. Now, one of the things it does not work well on is I have a Bubba water portal jug that's got like a powdery finish, so it didn't stick permanently on that, or well. So yeah, so we have the window decal, which could go on anything, and then the bag. These are 10 by 14 vinyl zip bags, great for your chart, your fabric, you know, anything that, you know. So yeah, we were really excited about that. So,
and the big announcement is not only is it a collaboration, they're going to be available for you to purchase on Julie's website.
Yep. So it is under Running with Stitches, Heartbeat Project Tote, and vinyl decal. And I know you said that now to remind me. Since
here's the most awesome part of the announcement.
Since it's 2023, I am going to offer 23 days of reduced shipping. So the shipping costs have gotten hideous. Yeah. And I've checked all the different sources, UPS, FedEx. Now, I am not I'm a micro business retiring. And it's like as a consumer, I hate to pay the shipping, but I have to charge because I can't take the cut personally. Yeah. So the shipping cost is down to $5.
For 23 days.
Yeah, for 23 days through February 6th. And the reason why
flat
I kind of...
shipping, $5.
Yep, so that has been enabled on my website, which I was mustering through yesterday.
Hopefully after the last episode, you went out to Julie's website and made a wish list.
Because I warned you this would possibly be happening. But the reason why is... I forgot to mention that my little snowman fob wasn't just for me. He's available on the website. I just wanted to refresh your memories that I have Valentine's.
So cute.
Some Valentine's fobs. This would be a great time if you just wanted one or two things and didn't want to pay my previous rate of $10. This is a good opportunity for you to get some of the smaller items. If you just wanted one or two of. So, as much as I told Jane in the very beginning, I didn't want the Flosstube to be all about J Designs. But as I'm retiring, I'm offering these things. A lot of you may not have known about what I had to offer or design. And this is a great opportunity for you to take advantage if you have an interest of some of the products that I still have remaining. And I did go through this last week and top off some quantities on my teaching publications. And kind of like when they're gone, they're gone.
And
so
my delightful delivery for this episode was all the delightfuls that were hand delivered by Julie, and they're all available on our website. So while we're talking about this, let me just show you some of the things that I got.
She said, I'm going to place an order. I said,
top off.
Do not place an order for Pete's sake on my website. Give me a list of what you would like, and I hand delivered them.
Do I have to pay you the $5 for driving them over?
Well, you bought me lunch, so.
Okay, I'll buy lunch again today. Okay, Hardanger techniques. Okay, I hadn't seen this one. This one was not in my stash, but look at those filling stitches. And the instructions are very detailed,
explicit,
and amazing. So for those of you that are Hardanger fans like I am, put that on your list. That was one thing. And then a Hardanger sampler bell pull.
And even though it's a bell pull,
you could.
I framed mine.
Yeah.
I did it in a bell pull form, and I did it. I framed it. It's very pretty framed.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And then,
excuse me.
I think Julie showed this maybe not last episode, but episode before, maybe one of the last couple episodes. Holiday wreath.
Hers was a kit.
Mine was a kit.
Yep.
Okay. We talked about holiday ornaments.
The ornaments, yep.
That's available.
See, part of the problem I've had, and was part of the reason why I decided to retire, my charting program is no longer compatible with the new laptop I have.
The new operating system.
Yep. And it's like, it's been a problem across the board. I'm not getting a new one. I think I am beyond the point of learning something technically new at this stage of the game. So if I hadn't had the ability to save it as a PDF file so I could bring it to the printer, I'm just screwed. I've got all of that information and I can't access it. So that was that along with the shipping and my shaky hands and my eyesight. I guess there are multiple reasons for me to retire, but I have all this, what I feel is valuable information that, you know, I'd like to move on with.
You remember that from a couple episodes ago?
She wanted that tri-kit.
And it's got the box and the metal button forms to put over it.
I'm like, I couldn't believe I had to bring it in a bag. I'm like, seriously, Jane? And she said she had to have them, so thank you. I think you're so kind.
Thank you. And then here is the Joy
scissor kit.
Scissor kit. Mm-hmm. Look at that scissor.
Fun scissors.
And then the to complete that trifecta is the Doily. Mm-hmm. This might be one of my next Hardanger starts.
Well, and the only Hardanger in it is the buttonhole edge. It's a fun cross-stitch doily.
And then birdhouse scissor case.
So
I love this one.
Well, thank you for your support.
Thank you.
So lots of things to look for.
Lots of beautiful things.
On the website, the project totes are on Running with Scissors project or Heartbeat project tote and vinyl decal. You can click on that. And down the side of my website on several pages, you can jump over and check in accessories. There's Running with Scissors, Fobs and Baubles is where you'll find all my fobs.
And there's, don't forget, I mean, there's beautiful cross-stitch patterns out there. The Cherish that was there. Mm-hmm. The See the Chocolate, Eat the Chocolate, Be the Chocolate, Marry the Chocolate. That's there.
And scissors. I have my white-handled scissors, which are phenomenal. Oh, and the pink ones.
And?
Yeah. What are we ending?
One that you haven't shared yet, but maybe one of the next episodes. This beautiful, beautiful sampler that Julie designed based on Outlander.
Oh, my Outlander sampler. That will probably be the next episode.
Phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. So take a look. Yeah. I mean, Julie's going to share. There's another piece that she brought that's got a Valentine's Day theme. That has a cute acrylic stand. I mean, it's not just for Hardanger. There are a lot of beautiful cross-stitch things that are there.
Thank you.
So,
yeah. It's
what a phenomenal deal. $5.
Hard for me to toot my own horn, but doot. Could be fun.
Yeah.
And I will do my best to get the orders out in a timely fashion, but I am Grandma Julie, not Amazon. So I'm like, I don't want to ship tomorrow. Yeah. I want to stitch tomorrow, but I will open on Monday. And if any of you are kind enough to place orders, I want to thank you in advance for the support that you've given me and my designs. And I just had a lot to share. So 23 days of reduced shipping. And,
today to February 6th.
Yes. So
there is another fact-based correction that I need to make. That isn't anywhere near the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is actually the next weekend.
Yep, we did question that. So
did you want to show the free pattern?
Oh yeah, then one of the things for Valentine's Day, of course I didn't bring the pattern because you're not supposed to show the pattern.
But it's your pattern.
Yeah. I had I want to get that level there. This little pattern is some satin work, flat stuff as Tom calls it, satin work and cross stitch on this little box. What would you say that is? 4 inches?
Yeah, probably 4 inches.
You can frame it. You can pin keep it.
It would make a great little flat ornament to put on a...
I happened to put mine on a box because this was a round robin kit when I was doing the shows, but I thought for Valentine's Day, it really is cute. This is just stitched on Autumn Blush with 902 floss.
And is it on 32 count?
I believe, I don't know. I don't have to pattern it. I can't make
Doesn't matter. You can stitch it on
anything you want. With any fiber you want. Any fabric and fiber combination. Could you imagine if you had your favorite silk or your favorite over-dyed or whatever?
And you wonder what to do with those 9x9 scraps that you have left over, those squares after you do some cutting.
So each order will have a free chart, not the color photo or anything.
Seemed to have been missing from my bag.
This was missing from your bag too? I'll shoot you over a copy. So is that everything? Bag, decal, this and that. Oh, and then while supplies last, we decided to keep the pull on the manufacturer pull because it is very nice. But as long as while supplies last, I have also done a glass beaded fob that you can put on anything. But that's my little thank you too. So it's really it's a fun thing.
It's an exciting day.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, Catherine's excited to make the
life-changing tip card.
Yeah,
you can put on your refrigerator is worth the price of shipping by itself.
Oh, you goof. So yeah, that's our exciting news. I hope you weren't like thinking, oh, we waited 2 weeks.
Just fast forward through this part then.
So yeah, so now what are we going to do? Well, since we're still kind of on me, I hate that. This is another pattern. Oh, I've lost my backing paper. Oh, Julie. Okay, here it is. Is that the right side? It is stitched on 25 count Lugana Christmas red with 601 pink.
Pink.
It's pink. I don't know if you focused in on that. Hot pink. And it's wrapped with number 8. So should we just put it on? Does that help it out at all? Very simplistic design. However, this can be stitched in any color combination of fabric and fibers that you want. I left the center open so you could actually set something on it. A lot of times people don't like to use a doily because you're covering up all your pretty. So I left the center. So that is called Hardanger in red. And that is just a pattern page. So as stated... Yeah, you didn't even know this one existed.
Thanks, Julie.
It never was on the website, so I put it on the website yesterday.
I'll buy lunch to pay you for it.
That's going to cost you cheesecake.
All right, it's a deal.
So yeah, that's a fun one to do. So if you've never done Hardanger before, you might want to look into Take the Heart Out of Hardanger as a reference book. But if you've done Hardanger before, that's all you need is a quarter of the pattern and you're set to go. But that's listed, that information will prompt you on the website for that. And shall I just go into the rest of my things? And then we'll do yours?
That would be great. Then we'll do Hardanger Heaven.
So then I did, I don't know if any of you have ever seen, these Lucite stands. I think, well, what do you even use those for? I wondered the same thing. So I designed on banding this Valentine little thing.
I just love it.
And it's got some cut work down below. Don't be afraid. Explicit instructions. And then it's just folded over. And it's just running stitched, back stitched down to each side. You get the heavy pink cardboard. And then this inserts, I have to put it down.
I just think this is so clever.
This just inserts up the back, fold, and then it'll set wherever you put it. If you choose, this is a kit. So if you choose to do it as a bell pull, you'll just have to position it, you know, not as I tell you. Yeah. So that was kind of fun. So we've got that. And then, look what else. I forgot the model because you know, I go in the living room and go, what did I come in here for? Oh, that's right. I'll pick the socks up. But this is a Hardanger scissor sheath kit.
Oh, cute. So cute.
Fun stitch to do. This little kit comes with 32 count antique pink linen, the felt backing, and the 2 fibers.
And
Scissors
you just use
not
a blanket
included.
stitch to put them together.
A buttonhole stitch,
Yeah.
buttonhole blanket edge for that. So that was my
finish that.
That was my Valentine's stuff to share. So that lots of goodies to look at on the website should you choose to go and go there and check that out. So that's that for that part of my bin. And I know for a fact that Miss Jane has been very, very busy in the Heaven department.
In the Hardanger Heaven.
Yep.
Okay, you guys.
Take us to heaven.
I don't have anything white to... Okay, hold please.
Yeah. Did you find something? I was in charge of setup, and I was so excited because we learned something about like how to stop a video, which we seem to really have a problem with. A lot of troubleshooting, but we figured out what our problem was. That I was so anxious to show her what I discovered that I forgot half the stuff we used for a video in the closet. So, and I'm gonna spare you me getting that.
Finished
the
dark doily, as Julie calls it,
and removed it from its
released it from the salvage
bondage.
The bondage of the fabric.
Oh my!
I didn't take the time to press it. I'm sorry if you're triggered. Look away. But
isn't that stunning?
I really do like it. I really do.
I'm so proud of you. This has been years. What years? How old is that?
It's got to be 10 years old.
10 years old? Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not proud that it took me that long, but I'm very excited to have it done.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made some good progress on Sophie.
Excellent progress.
And I was telling Julie, you know, now that I'm kind of in Hardanger mode, it's not the dreaded cutting and wrapping anymore because I'm actually enjoying the
Well, and I just got a picture and I'm like, wait, what? You started cutting? I didn't hear anything from your side of town. You know, then the next day. I
reveal all my secrets.
The next day, another picture. I'm like, well, she doesn't need me.
No, that's not true.
Amazing. I can't believe we don't have a board.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I'll figure it out. Oh, please. Oh, please.
Oh.
Okay. We'll just do it like that.
Oh, my God. Look at that. She got this cut and wrapped, this cut and wrapped, and this as well. She's at the halfway mark for...
I don't know, can you?
Here, I'll take this.
Okay.
You tell me if I'm on.
No, you can see it. Yeah. Very plain, very easy, simple wrap, plain wrap.
But so striking. You know how I feel about plain wrap.
It is really like meditating.
Yeah. Well, and it just the simplicity of it. It just shows the structure of the remaining fabric.
Yeah.
But, you know what's coming up? The other areas are picots.
These spots right here are plain wrap with picots.
Yeah. These bigger ones here are plain wrap with picot.
Yeah.
And a picot is just like, well, a little French knot. So everybody now just
and
went,
of course,
I fell over.
French knots. I am so bad at French knots.
I struggled with the picots when
Until you made the perfect picot.
And then I told my instructor at the time, I'm not doing picots. I don't like them. I don't like the way they look. And so she says, then figure something out. So I did. I kind of created the perfect picot, and it turns out the exact same size every single time. And if you do it wrong, it dissolves. So she needs a refresher course. But
okay. The instructions are very good. If you are not Julie, you will end up with a picot that does not look like Julie's picot, but it will be a very nice picot.
What did I say? I am probably about 1 million picots in of 28 years of stitching.
Doesn't make me any more patient with my picots. But I was telling Julie, you know, one of the great things about this design, and one of the reasons this is the second time I'm stitching a version of it, is it's very flexible. Mm-hmm. So when I stitched the shorter version of this, I didn't feel like doing picots. So I just did all plain wrap, and it's beautiful.
I didn't focus in on that.
Yeah, I just did all plain wrap on the white version. Here, you could do the same thing if you wanted, or you could do the picots, or in all honesty, there's enough detail on this piece that if you wanted to, if you chose to, you could leave this the way it is and not cut and wrap it at all. I mean, it is very versatile design.
Like Jane pulled that line on me earlier, and I'm like, no, you're gonna do all the. I could just do the plain wrap and say I'm done, and I'm like, no. We'll have a picot lesson.
So and earlier in the video, we heard about 2023, this wild, carefree version of Julie, and now who's arrived? Rosy Julie.
Well, you can't take everything out of me in 14 days. You're going to try to reverse 63 years of who I am in 14 days.
It was worth a try.
It's been glorious so far. Not.
What about the pickup? No. Well, what if I just left it? No.
But here's the thing.
How about if I like, no.
You will do it and you will like it.
God almighty. I just had a flashback to Sister Faith in first grade. Just give me a minute. Oh, I'm sweating.
Here's some beverage.
Oh, God.
Hydrate.
I'm getting the vapors.
See, I did
Sister Faith. Oh, I went to parochial school.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah, Sister Faith. We had to go to daily mass first thing in the morning. And there was nothing worse than sitting there in mass and hearing this. That was her thing. And you knew somebody was wiggling, squirming, picking their nose. Like something that, being a kid in church at, 7:30 in the morning. But yeah, oh, it was the worst.
I'm going to start doing that to you.
I have enough PTSD. I don't need that too. And I was thinking when I was stitching, when I was doing some of the cross stitch, you turn the work over to secure the thread on the back. And there were several times where I would think, I'm thinking to myself, my grandmother would not be happy with the back of this piece of work right now.
Because
it's not as neat as the front.
Well, it is cross stitch, maybe not so much as Hardanger. Remember, our Hardanger is damn near flawless on the back.
She could care about the Hardanger.
Well,
the Hardanger was after her time.
Well, yeah. Because share the little story about why you, with your cross stitch, you said you were going to tell us 11 episodes ago. I love the story of your grandma. So,
my grandmother taught me to embroider. I'll tell you the horrible story of why I had to learn to embroider another time. But she would teach me to do something like on a pillowcase or a dish towel or whatever, and I would do it, and then she would say, show me the back. And if the back was not perfect, I would have to do it again and again and again and again. So I just learned embroidery, cross stitch, or whatever. The back had to look as neat as the front. So I loved my grandmother. I lived with her for 2 years when I was in high school. Long story. So I really wanted to do a piece for her. So I cross-stitched this very beautiful Home Sweet Home piece for her kitchen. It was in the same color browns as her wallpaper. And I was so proud. I came home to visit one weekend. I'm like, Grandma, I have something for you. And I didn't have it framed yet. Maybe that was my mistake.
Yeah.
So I showed it to her, and she turned around and she looked at the back. And she said, oh, Well, I think you could have done a better job back here. And y'all, I'm not proud of what happened next, but I saw red probably one of the few times in my life where I totally was like losing my temper. So I got up and I went into the little pantry and I took the big shears out of the drawer and I came back in the kitchen. Oh my God, I'm going to burn in hell. And I took the piece out of her hand and I cut it up into little pieces. And I put it in her wastebasket and I said, I guess you don't have to worry about it now, Grandma.
Oh my God.
And you know what? Didn't miss a beat. She sat down, refilled her coffee, and went on to something else.
I would be devastated.
Oh,
she was very critical. A very nice, loving, kind woman that was very impressionable in your life, but very...
Yeah, she was a major influence. You know, my siblings and I sit around every once in a while. When we get together, we're talking on the phone. Well, who do you think, you know, Jill is most like? Well, I think she's probably like Mom. Mm-hmm. What about Robert? Okay, well, that's Dad. That's like Jack 2.0. What about John? Well, that's kind of a combination. And then they'll go, well, what do you think? Who are you? And I have to hesitate for a minute. And then to a person, all my siblings go, you're Grandmanette. You're not Mom or Dad. You're Grandmanette.
Well, I do hate to bring this up, but she has threatened a couple of times to take a scissor to something. And I thought, I will take
I'm like,
every
where are those big honking scissors that are this long?
Yeah,
where are those?
Where did our mascot scissors go to when we did this room?
Could have come in handy a few times.
I guess maybe we should find them, ? Not if that's an option.
I'm kind of over it now.
Oh. No, that's, you know, you want your piece to, I think when I'm doing all this over with one thread, the back isn't as neat as I'd like it to be, but I'm like, I'm framing it. No one's going to see it. But with Hardanger, I like that my anchoring and binding and my wrapping, my everything is so the back from beginner on.
Yeah, it's very easy. It's very
I mean,
doable.
If you have never done it before, following my technique will give you that flawless look from the first time you start doing it. And that also brings me to another shameful, I hang my head. I've got everything set up for the delightful detail that we will handle now to get going on that. So then Jane and I will be able to video that together. It's a different type of video because it's all done tabletop, and we talked about how we would do that. And we'll film and cut them into sequences so you're not sitting here for 4 hours watching that. So, but you'll pick up a lot of tips, whether you're a beginner or an advanced Hardanger person. So, wow.
That was a lot.
Lovely.
Thanks, y'all. I feel like I had
work.
Cheaper than a therapy session, I think.
Well, we are who we come from. Yeah. You know, I mean, there's so many people in our lives that shape us, you know, and I think sometimes with my Bella, I took care of her while Mama worked, and she is, you know, who I am as well because she was around me so much. And now that she's 16, she's becoming very independent, but as much as she thinks she's independent, she still does a lot of things.
Bella, that's not true if you're watching. I think you're very independent.
She is very independent, so, but
And very 16. It's awesome.
Yes. At the same
awesome.
time. Soon to be 17 in March. Can you believe that? Where is the
Well,
time?
maybe you'll be 26.
I can't believe that.
How does that happen?
I took care of Elizabeth since she was 6 weeks old.
Yeah.
Yep.
6-8 weeks old.
Yep. And Bella made her video debut on the last cut of my DVD.
Take the heart out of Hardanger.
Was like 2 weeks old. This squeaking little, teeny tiny little bundle of oh my God. So and now she's got a job and where does the
driving all over the place like a real person.
Yep. So wish them all the best, our girls, right?
Yep.
So now we are
your delightful deliveries, because I've exhausted.
You have no delightful deliveries?
The hand delivereds.
Oh, okay. You're gonna, okay. We kind of talked about what we were gonna do, and I guess I wasn't paying attention. I was, but I was kind of excited about it.
I'm married, so I'm used to it, y'all. Nobody tells you that when you get married and you gain a husband that their ears are optional.
Yeah, that's
like an add-on that you have to buy.
Well, I feel rather piggish here, for Pete's sake, so I'll try to be brief, but not because it's really awesome. Okay, I don't know what episode it was, but...
Last episode, I think.
Was it that Jane introduced us to...
I taunted her with evergreens and peppermint.
Stitches by Ethel. And isn't he cute? Okay, so I had to get my own copy. And then in this bag are the teeny tiny peppermints. I bought peppermints for you as well.
Oh, thank you.
I put my peppermints in the back of mine, but I put it in a big enough bag that we'll put that right in with your tiny peppermints. She only thought there was one, as did I, until I looked closer. There are 3 peppermints, so I got those. And when I was on the site, I'm like, oh, lordy, lordy, look at.
Oh, no.
Yes,
oh,
candy corn and pumpkin. Now, there isn't a little piece of candy corn on here, but I do have some teeny tiny little, just another Button Company candy corn, so I'm not sure if it will be the right size, but isn't that cute? Stitches by Ethel.
I know what I'll be doing later.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yes.
Love it. So, and these would be cute on a block. I could see them on a block.
Very cute on
yeah,
a
just
block.
because I'm not really sure of the size. They're 81 by 55 on 28 count, so they're not all that big, I wouldn't think.
No, 6 by something.
Well, it's math, and I can't do without a pencil, so. Then this one, and I'm going to take it out of the thing because I don't like the glare. Oh, Joan.
That's the one that we looked at with the different fabric choices you could use.
Well, this is different. This
is it?
This is the winter solstice I was telling you about. Look at that. Oh my God. Here, I'll share with you guys. Look at that. The other one was a winter one, a Christmassy one.
Yeah.
But this, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do this one instead of the other one. Because, Lord, I don't know if I could do it twice.
Oh, my word.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is stunning.
So, yeah.
That is stunning.
That needs the perfect blue fabric. We'll have to
I might have some.
We'll have to look through and see so we can get the piece size.
Yeah.
Okay, then Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
She has been working on this masterpiece of modern folk embroidery. I say it wrong every time. This is, look at that.
Fruits of Plenty.
Fruits of Plenty. And Sarah finished hers.
It's gorgeous.
Every time she showed the progress, I just stood there with my mouth open, shaking my head.
Yeah.
And I just love it. So I thought, I'm going to do that because, you know, I'll live forever to get it done because it is very, very large. It's a whole bunch wide by a whole bunch high. So,
she's a big girl.
I'm going to do this instead of the 2 tones of blue. I'm going to do it with black and gray.
Oh, get out.
And I thought, do I need a hand-dyed fabric? Not much of the fabric is even showing. So I think I'm going to go with like an antique white.
Are you going to do it on a linen or an even weave?
That I don't know. Here's another thing. When you do it with a linen, you have that teeny tiny hair
and then you
and
got
a little thicker
slub.
one. And I feel, my personal opinion that, gee, no one asked for that, did they? But my personal preference is when I do a heavy coverage piece, I like an even weave.
I do too.
Because, you know, you're doing a lot of stitches, and I like the fabric then to be more
So all
strong.
of your stitches are the same
Yep.
height and width.
Yep.
Whereas, and I found it on Tarry quite a bit, that there are some imperfections in the linen that just happened as part of the process, where I thought for sure I was doing something over 4 instead of over 2, but it was just the thickness of that.
Yeah, and when you come up to a spot that doesn't have stitching, sometimes in the linen you can see it's not as crisp of a line. So, and I am going to do this then on a 36 count. And I got the gray silk and the black silk. So when I get the fabric, then I'll show that. And I've got that picked up all the way. Then, of course, I was on the site yet again.
That site is dangerous, you guys.
It is. It really is. This is another one of Jacob's. And this was a mystery stitch along, Sal, of 2018 that's been released as a pattern. And this is called the 4 Seasons. Look at that. You can have it up all year.
Oh my god.
Because it's all 4 seasons.
And you can do it in whatever color you want.
I don't know if I want to do it in red or if I want to do it in black.
Or if you're me, I could do it in navy.
Or I could do it in blue and then put it in your drawer. Like the police sounding on. Yeah, all one color. Just mind-blowing. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that is just a really dangerous place to go. But I got those. These were downloads. So that was fun to do a delightful download. Okay, then I got Fiber on a Whim, hand-dyed Edinburgh linen. It doesn't have a color. Oh, stone. I guess it does. That darn reading thing again.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's really pretty.
Now, if this is the right size, maybe I could use this for that winter solstice, because it's a pale blue, but not. It's like a blue that's kind of a gray. I don't know if you can focus in. Ever so slightly varied in modeling. Yeah. So I got that. That was kind of fun. That is a fat quarter, 18 by 26. So I don't know. Some of those samplers I might need. What's the next of a fat quarter? Is that a half yard?
Half yard.
Okay, then this is what I'm really excited about. This is, I didn't show you this. This is Ravaris or Ravaris. Look at that.
Look at that.
It's an Etsy, it's a download. But oh my gosh. I was a little frustrated because nowhere on it, I was telling Jane, did it say what fabric they used? It's a 32 count, 2/2, but it didn't tell you what color. So then I just went and shopped for the fabric of choice was this Fiber on a Whim 36 count peony. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
It's kind of a raspberry. It's not really hot pink. And then hold your applause till the end. You know how they have wool on the edge? I happen to have, look at, I got this.
Heavenly Days.
It's not red. The camera might not be showing it. It's cranberry.
Yeah.
A cranberry wine. It looks very cool with the pink.
Yeah.
And then the fibers were listed as 902, 520 and ecru.
Yep.
However, if you look at the pattern, Jane, the green, or I mean the photo, the green is variegated, right?
Oh, it is variegated.
So I'm like, now what do? So I went into my alphabetized and I picked out baby spinach, porcelain, and claret.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
I am so excited. I can't stand it. I have some, they used rickrack, but I have some cotton crocheted edging that I thought I might tea dye, maybe. I don't know how to do that. You just put tea or coffee on it. And I don't know. I just was, sometimes I
soak it in it, rinse it, and I think you have to bake it.
Bake it?
Put it in your oven.
At like 3. Why do you have to bake it?
Priscilla and Chelsea of Stitching with the Housewives, on Priscilla's blog, she has instructions on how to do it. And I can't remember what Flosstube episode they did it in. It was in one of, I think, the very early ones. They did a tutorial on how to tea and coffee dye fabric.
Okay.
I imagine this would be the same. And then, you dye it, rinse it in cold water, and then you stick it on a
parchment paper.
Yeah, in the oven, and you have to bake it for, I don't think it's like super long, but...
Oh, just to dry it.
Just to set it, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought that was, I'm really excited to do that. But then going into the Valentines, I found this little one, my last, Cherry Hill.
I love Cherry Hill stuff. I have several pieces.
But isn't that cute?
They're very sweet.
Yeah,
and they look like they would be a relatively quick stitch.
And I think if I did them to coordinate, that would be a cool little thing in in my wood dough bowl. You know, with some greens and some glass hearts or something. So I'm really excited about that. Will not be done before Valentine's Day. I can just about, no. It won't, but it's kind of, I wanted to start a Christmas thing because I still am in that frame of mind. And so I told Jane I worked in a floral department, and we were like ordering poinsettias in June. So by the time Christmas came, we were so done with Christmas.
Yeah.
And now I kind of like being in the mode.
Yeah.
And then it'll just be done for finishes.
Like I want to stitch snowmen right now.
Yeah. And we can, because it's 2023. There are no rules.
Unless it's one of Julie's designs and you're stitching it. And then apparently there's a lot of rules.
I am reminded on a weekly basis that by my family about being rulesy-julesy, but I'm really trying to loosen up a little bit here.
And I lied.
I thought you did.
I do have another delightful delivery.
Talking about fact-based, I knew she had that.
My color and cotton fabric of the month came. So this is January, and this is 32 count Belfast pewter.
Oh.
A beautiful...
Which, too, would look great on that winter solstice. Or...
Yep.
Oh, that's probably just... That would be a good gray for that modern folk embroidery.
Yeah.
One.
You should check it out.
Yeah.
And then here are the threads of the month. Very pretty, getting into spring colors.
I can see they're edging into those.
So yeah, I did have a delightful delivery. Sorry, y'all.
Well, I knew it was over there, and she's like, I gave her the look. You probably didn't see that. Yikes. So yikes. Yeah, so I guess that's it. Look at, we have all, did we forget anything?
God, it'll take me 2 weeks to get this stuff put away.
Yeah, well, that's what we can do this afternoon, maybe. Or not.
After lunch.
Yeah, we'll have to have lunch. So, being that Tom and I troubleshooted how to get out of this video, and he bought me a new clicker. That'll really test your marriage.
He's so good to you.
You know, really, when I know nothing. And actually, he was stumped too.
And Dr. Google wasn't any help.
No, you know, it wasn't. But we'll see what our ending is like. Although a lot of people liked our endings.
I promise to behave this time.
I think next time, shall I do the Outlander thing next time?
Yes, please. It's gorgeous, you guys.
And you'll see a different side of me then. A little fanatic. But, and then, I don't know, I'm just excited to see what you get finished. I'm excited to see what I have the time to start. You know?
I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe it's all the floss tubes where people are showing, like, here were all the things I started in 22, and they're doing whip parades and all their plans about starts in 2023. I have a terrible itch to start way too many things. So I always considered myself a fairly monogamous stitcher, and now I'm learning how much fun it is.
Does that mean you only stitch with me?
Yes, and only on one thing at a time.
I'm glad you don't stitch around. I like to know I'm your one and only. Oh dear.
Oh, so I forced myself to make a list of my whips for both cross stitch and Hardanger, and I only have like 5 cross stitch whips. Well, come on, let's step it up.
Well, when I started this Flosstube, I was a one stitch, one thing. Look at all that. You're
monogamous as well. That's what it means, Julie.
Well, I thought that, well, I need to smart up in 2023. My dad said to me once, in a real backhanded compliment, I just love that you have a simple mind.
Mine's pretty simple, too. Simple, less is more.
Well,
that's what I say about my brain.
I have a lot of things, too, and I'm like, I can't start this. I can't start this because I am obsessed with the Red Deer sampler. You know, I mean, I strap in. I've got my recliner back, my beverage, my light, my magnifier, my pillow, my scissors, everything. I said, if there is a fire, just let me perish right here. You'll never get me out of here.
Save the sampler, but just leave me be.
You will never get me out in a timely fashion. You know, you'll be out in the front yard telling the firemen, she's in the TV room.
She's right behind me.
She needs to be. No, I'm still sitting in the chair. But I'm just obsessed with doing that. I don't know why. So I tell myself you need to work on a few things, not just buy them, not
but
just
actually
pick
work on
them up, actually start working on them. That's what you told me when we started this journey. You go, you're going to have to think outside your box, Jules. You're going to have to. And I am. So you'll need to follow me.
Okay. I'll follow your lead to that dark side.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, you can wind us up here before we go silly.
Okay. We want to thank you again for joining us today. And we will see you again in a couple of weeks with a lot of goodness that we don't know about right now. In the meantime, until we see you again, please remember to always give yourself one more day. Just one more. If I can do it, you can do it. So again, this episode, let's pinky swear that we're going to meet each other back here again in 2 weeks. And between now and then, also we wish you nothing but the best, health, happiness, and the abundance of all of the things that make you happy. And until we see you in a couple of weeks, happy stitching, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.